Socrates said, I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Hello, my name is Michael Stack. I'm the CEO of AMAX. I'm excited to attend the WCRI conference in Boston, Massachusetts this week. That quote in regards to Socrates is that I know one thing, it's that I know nothing, is really steeped and versed in the fact that we always need to constantly be learning. We always need to continue to push ourselves to stay up with the recent trends, to connect with those, to learn from others, and to not think that, hey, I've been in this business 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and I've mastered everything there is to know, because that's just not the case. Things are always changing, always developing, and there's always continuous improvement that we all of us need to continue to make. So I'm excited to attend this year's WCRI conference. It's always one of the most interesting, I think, that I attend on an annual basis. A couple of things that I want to kind of lay out how I look at WCRI. So, how I look at WCRI in general from my perspective, which is typically the employer perspective, the employer and then service providers that are servicing that employer. So that's the perspective that I come from. As we lay out WCRI, as I'm looking forward to, and I just kind of wrote up, this is kind of the morning of the first day, morning and early afternoon of the first day. And as a microcosm of kind of how to approach or how I approach WCRI, maybe something for you to think about, or maybe you could share some things with me for me to think about, because again, we're always constantly learning, trying to get better. But I was going to share with you kind of how I look at this. How we're going to open up, or how our WCRI is opening up, is we've got a keynote speaker. He's going to be talking about the healthcare system, staffing shortages, provider burnout. We know this is going on. And this, in relation to this, in regards to medical payment inflation, this is session number 2. What is happening in our healthcare system, which, oh, by the way, everyone that gets injured in workers' compensation gets treated in some fashion in the healthcare system, obviously with an occupational slant, but this is very relevant to what we're doing in our world. So how do we approach this? How do we take this information, understand what is going on from a global macro perspective? What are the trends telling us? What are the overall economic influencers that are happening in our world that are going to trickle down to the workers' compensation space? And then down here, how do we now make sense of these things? So this is how I look at this. This is how I look at WCRI. What is going on from a global perspective? What are the trends telling us? What are these outside factors that we need to be aware of in order to make some decisions as we come down to how does this apply to us in workers' compensation? How does this apply to you at the Acme company? How does it apply to you at the Acme insurance broker or insurance provider or service provider organization in terms of how we're impacting overall workers' compensation costs? These things, in terms of burnout, staffing shortages, overall global trends, are going to influence our psychosocial risk factors. Is there a lot more anxiety? Is there a lot more mental health? Is there a lot more issues going on in the world? The answer is obviously yes. Yes, we need to understand those. We need to understand these factors. We need to understand these trends, and then we need to apply them. We need to apply them. We need to apply them in our programs. Understand the global trends, and then apply them in our programs in order to continue to push this ball forward. As Socrates said, I know one thing, and it's that I know nothing. Learn from what is happening in our world. Understand these things. Learn from these experts. Learn from these economists, and then figure out how we apply them in our program. We always need to continue learning. I'm excited to attend this year's WCRI conference. I'll come back from the conference and I'll share for those that weren't there some of my top takeaways. So hope we can continue to advance the impact and the effect of what we're doing in the workers' compensation industry. So remember, your work today, workers' compensation, can have a dramatic impact on your company's bottom line, but it will have a dramatic impact on someone's life. So be great.